Hey, what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I just wanted to update you guys on a couple of things. They're not really magic related, so if you're not interested in that, this might not be the right video for you, but I did want to update you guys on a couple of exciting things. And funny, these kind of had happened like around the same time, which is really cool that I get to like film this video and talk about both of them. So first off, I have a new tripod and I also have a new light. So if my camera quality looks different, hopefully it looks better. I think it looks a lot better. Definitely that's something that has happened. The way that the brightness is, it's more of like a white light that's like casting right now, and it's kind of bright, so if I ever start like tearing up, that's probably what that is, because you know, it's a very bright light. But anyways, there was pretty much this option, or then there was a more like orange cast, and I'm not sure necessarily which one was better. Both Paul and I think that this looks better, so definitely let me know if you notice a difference or you think that this looks good. And I don't know, this camera tripod is working out so much better. My other one, just to give you like the short, I'll try to make it short, sorry, but like it wasn't as like adjustable, where it was like a physically longer tripod, and so I wasn't able to like get the right angles, and I had to sit on like 3 pillows, which sounds comfortable, but it was just kind of like tedious and kind of annoying, and I was just kind of over it. So I just kind of wanted to get that. So anyways, that's all like the kind of like housekeeping stuff. The main thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I'm so excited about, is that I'm going to be a 3rd grade math and science teacher next year at my charter school, and I am so excited, you guys. Just to kind of like talk to you a little bit about like the background and kind of like where I started in like the education field in terms of when I moved. So we moved from New York to Austin in February of 2018, and pretty much when I had moved, I had 4 interviews lined up, so it was kind of like weird. We arrived in Austin on President's Day, I believe, so February 18th or 19th, whatever that day was in 2018. We arrived there that day on Monday, and then I had an interview Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And the interview for the school that I work at now was on Thursday, and I went in for the interview. We had like I had like a phone interview like before that was like an hour. That went really well for a SPED paraprofessional role. I didn't hear anything for a couple weeks because they needed someone more immediate, and obviously with the move, like this was when we were like moving, we couldn't really like change that based on the job. So anyways, they filled that position, but then they had another opening that was separate. Anyways, they ended up having a separate opening about a couple of weeks later, and so that was for like the position that I had that I got at the time for a SPED para role for 6th and 7th grade. And I ended up, so I went on that interview on the Thursday when we moved, got the job. Maybe like a couple of days later, I think is when I got the phone call, and I got like my fingerprinting done, and I got like all that sort of stuff like squared away with HR, and then you know, started working in the middle of the school year in March of 2018 as a SPED para, 6th and 7th grade. And then the following year, the year after that, so then the 2018 to 2019 school year, I had basically been asked like, what grade would you like to work with? I was working at the middle school, so at the time we only had 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We've since added 5th grade. Oh, no. That year I think we had 5th grade as well, but I wanted to work with 7th grade, so that school year I worked with 7th and 8th grade, and I had applied for a teaching role at the middle school, which I did not end up getting. So I was told to apply at the elementary school. So this is now this is like so confusing. Sorry if it's confusing. I'm trying to do my best to explain it. For the 2019 to 2020 school year, there was a like teaching fellow role, or like a teaching role open, and so I had applied, I think for the teaching fellow role is what like I was encouraged to do. So I had applied for that role, and pretty much if you're not sure what a teaching fellow is, the Roomba decided to cut me off, so I'm trying to remember where I last left off, even though that was like 30 seconds ago. So I had applied for the teaching fellow role, and I had done a model teaching fellow, that's what I was explaining. So I was explaining what a teaching fellow is. So pretty much what a teaching fellow is it's a permanent substitute. So it's very different from, a lot of schools have just like regular substitutes that they pull like a list of people from, and when you're a teaching fellow, you are with a permanent substitute, so you're there every single day, and you basically have less responsibilities, I would say, than like a teacher. Like, you're not doing like lesson planning and stuff like that. But I was in like all the ELA meetings because I was on the ELA team, and I was with fourth grade primarily. And one thing that's really cool about being a teaching fellow is they try to keep you with the same group of kids. So like, for example, I worked primarily with fourth grade, where I knew like I know all the fourth graders, which is really helpful. But I have done, I've done pre-K, I've done like first grade. It just like I've done all the grades, definitely. But they tried to primarily stick you with that certain grade. So anyways, I applied to be a teaching fellow, and then I did my model teach, which is like a 30-minute like lesson basically, where like I did my own lesson, and I did like a math lesson on fourth grade math, and the interview went like really well, and then I had like an actual interview, like they asked me questions sort of interview after that. So it was like kind of like a two-part interview, if that makes sense. It was like the actual teaching that they observed, and then there was like the actual like questions. So anyways, I got the teaching fellow role, and I was really excited. I think I heard back like maybe like a week later or so. And this was in like April of 2019. And so I heard about the teaching fellow role, and I was really excited that I got that and got the chance to do that all this year, which has been really awesome. I learned a ton of things. It was a really cool role. But then I had wanted to transition to being a, like, they call it like a lead teacher, and I had done my model teach. It was done a little bit differently because we're doing distant learning right now, so it was like a little bit on the different side compared to normal, but I did my model teach for fourth grade math again, and then I had like a follow-up like interview. And so math was like my primary thing that I really wanted to teach, which is interesting because I actually have an English major background. My degree is a Bachelor of Science degree in adolescent education with a concentration in English, but so basically everything in my degree says that I would be working with middle or high school students teaching English, but now I'm in elementary school teaching now third grade, so it's very different. But basically I did my model teach, I did my interview, and then I heard back I think like 2 weeks later or so, that I had gotten the teaching job. That was in the beginning of May, but I wasn't told exactly what role yet. They were still trying to figure out a lot of logistics, a lot of like, moving people around and stuff, and there's just a lot of like, trying to figure out where everyone goes sort of thing and what role everyone is going to have. So I ended up just getting a call the other day that I got the third grade math and science role, and I'm really excited because I thought that I knew that they had a lot more ELA positions open, so I was really excited to get math because that was my first choice. And it is a dual role in the sense that you do teach math and science, whereas ELA is teaching reading and writing, so it's like both. So anyways, I'm really excited to be a part of the third grade team, and I'm really excited to be in this role and basically accept a lot of new responsibility. And I'm really excited. My classroom is going to be the Secret Garden themed, and so it's going to be really cool. I have visions for like what I want to do on the walls, and like what I want to write on the board, and like how I want my incentives to look. And my classroom door is going to say welcome to the Secret Garden, and then my board outside of my class is going to say great minds grow here, and it's going to have like, that's going to be like pictures of scholar work and stuff on like the work that they've done, and like showing off like all that they grow. And because that's, to me, like growth is like what it's really all about. So it's not like just boom, we get there and we're perfect. It's like it's this process, growth is a process. We work for it. So I'm really excited to get the chance to be working with a really strong third grade team, and I'm really excited to take on this new role, and it's math and science. So I'm really excited about that because that was like really what I wanted, and I'm just like really excited. I can't say that enough, but I'm so honored, and I'm so like humbled to like be in this role and like get the chance to, like I've been working really hard this year to being a teaching fellow. It's like basically it felt like I was taking, these, being on like a ladder and like, or like a staircase, and like constantly going up these steps, being like starting off as a sped para and then a teaching fellow and then now being a teacher. So I'm really, really excited, and I'm excited that my campus leadership team like has, seen a lot of like growth in me, and like, has like a lot of confidence in me and like believes in me. And it just like, I'm really lucky because I'm a part of such a really awesome team overall, not only just the third grade team, but like the school culture as well is really strong. And like I'm really lucky to be in this position that I am. So in terms of what this is going to look like for YouTube, I don't know yet. But what I will say is that I am going to be pre-filming a lot of videos over the summer. We have a month and a half off for summer vacation. We go back the third week of July for professional development. And I'm going to do my absolute best to not let this intervene with YouTube, but let's be real here, I am going to be a first year teacher. And even though I do have the background experience of this is going to be my 4th school year that I'm actually going on, which is crazy because I started in the middle of the year in the 2018-2019 school year. So that was like one school year, even though it was like only half, it was only a couple months. And then we have the 2018 to 2019 school year where I was a full sped para for the year. Then I was the teaching fellow for a full year, so this is going to be my 4th school year going on. And even though I have a lot of experience being a teaching fellow and being a sped para before, this is still going to be a new role for me, and it's still going to be a learning curve. And where I do feel a lot more prepared compared to if I was just boom in a classroom role without having that background knowledge, especially since our school culture is really strong, I think I would have struggled a lot, but I have all this knowledge, so I feel a lot more confident about it compared to just being like thrown in there without having that experience. So I'm definitely feeling a lot more confident, but it is going to be a lot to handle. I'm very excited and I'm very ready, and I'm very like, I know that I'm going to have a really supportive group of people behind me, so I know that I always have people to go to where I'm not alone, and I feel like I always have my coach, like I'm going to have a person that I can like always go to with questions and always go to concerns, and I'm going to have like a lot of feedback and stuff, and just I've had like a lot of positive things that my campus leadership team has said about me, and it makes me really excited because it was really nice and refreshing to get that sort of like having them here and like get all that positive feedback was just really great. And also, I'm someone like, I have the words like be better tomorrow like tattooed on my arm, so growth is like obviously really important to me, and I know I'm not where I need to be, but I'm also a perfectionist and I'm really hard on myself. So that's like an area of growth for me, is like letting go and like realizing that things are not meant to be perfect. That's a really big struggle. But anyways, where this is going to end up with YouTube, I'm going to try my absolute hardest to not let this impact everything. I'm going to have a lot of videos pre-filmed ready to go so that my first month especially, which is going to be in August since that's when we start in Texas, is it's going to be really crazy, and I know that. It's going to be a lot of adjustments, a lot of learning curve and stuff like that, and I don't, like, YouTube is still very important to me, but the reality of my situation is my job is my life. It's the most important thing to me, and it's always come first. And that's not to say that I don't love YouTube or I don't love doing this, because it's so much fun for me. This is such a great outlet and I love doing it, but it's definitely not the biggest priority for me, and it will never be the biggest priority for me. So it's something that I'm going to try really, really hard to not let this impact me. But I do know that it's going to be challenging being a first year teacher. And again, I do feel like I'm in a better position compared to someone who just wasn't a sped para and wasn't a teaching fellow before, so I feel better in that regard, but still it's going to be a lot, and I know that, and I'm ready for that. So a lot of other things are going to be just not as important in my life. With that being said though, I'm still definitely going to be playing Magic. Well, I don't know how things are going to be working with when that's going to happen, so realistically I don't know, but if things do go back to normal and whatnot, still will be going and playing Magic and all that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be a really fun ride, and being a teaching fellow was a really, really cool experience, and I'm really excited that I got the chance to do that before being a teacher, because I just learned a ton of stuff. I just feel like I have so many tools in my tool belt that I'm just like ready to go and just ready to learn. I'm like ready to jump into this role. And yeah, if you guys like watch this video to the end, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm just like extremely passionate about this. This is like, again, like my life and like what I'm here to do, and I'm just, how many times can I say I'm excited? I don't really know. I lost count, but genuinely this is like such good news for me. And yeah, thanks so much for like watching this video. If you did, if you got to the end, I really, really appreciate it. And sorry that this wasn't Magic related, and I was a little bit behind this past week. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up and when my other video is going to go up. I have 2 other videos pre-filmed pre-filmed, I just need to edit them. Last week was like really crazy with stuff, so I just wanted to, I will definitely get some videos out for you, so I'm sorry that there was only one video last week, but I definitely will have more content for you guys, and especially over the summer. I'm definitely going to probably keep to one video, I will say, a week, just so that I can get a lot of videos pre-filmed, and I don't want to run out of content ideas. So if you have any video requests, as always, you can definitely leave them in the comments below. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll catch y'all in my next one. Bye guys!